Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, dear listeners. Welcome to another VUT session where we're looking at work integrated learning. I am going to be joined by Mr. Tshenolo Montsiemang, who is one of the WIL coordinators, in particular from the Tourism Management Department. He is currently on the road somewhere in KwaZulu-Natal. Just arrived at the hotel and trying to get connected. As soon as he's assisted to connect, I will be in conversation with him. Maybe I should just start to give you the background of where it all started. It is now edition number 21. 2 years ago, we started this process of holding shows on a monthly basis, the objective of which is to inform the community of the Vaal University of Technology about the work integrated learning. We started with the colleagues in the department who are involved with work integrated learning on a regular basis. We invited the WIL coordinators from the various faculties. And then, of course, in some of the months, we had the guests from the industry players. This is going to be the last session for the year. And we thought that we're going to look into the tourism management WIL program, and Mr. Tshenolo Montsiemang, he is responsible for that. As we speak, as I indicated, he's visiting some of the industry partners. What we want to talk about when he manages to join is to look at the objectives of the WIL program in the tourism management, look at some of the core elements of effective WIL coordination, the key milestones that they follow and have to achieve on a yearly basis. And then, of course, we want to look into the impact that WIL programs have in the education sector and the tourism industry. We want to chat a little bit about how we are doing compared to other universities when it comes to WIL program and engagement with the industry partners. We would like to talk about what it takes as a university to collaborate and partner with some similar universities in the country and even globally. Looking at his personal aspirations as somebody who is a lecturer and also driving the WIL program at Vaal University of Technology. Of course, we will not be done with our work if we are not going to look at what it takes for students to be involved in the WIL program. So that's really the objective of the show. My name is Sam Zimmer. This is Comesa Television Network, our video streaming platform that looks into areas of education. I've just been speaking to him just now. He is trying to connect. I hope we won't take long before Tshenolo is able to join us, and then we can start the program. In the meantime, please bear with us. Don't go away. We will be with you as soon as he joins us. In the meantime, let's have a look what nice music we can be playing while we're waiting for you. Thank you for your understanding. Welcome, Tshenolo. I hope you are better connected now and you can hear me well.
Good evening, Sam. I can hear you. Please confirm if you can hear me well too.
Yeah, no, I can hear you very well. We are live and we can just welcome you. Let me also welcome those guests that have already tuned in. This is what WIL is all about. You know, we get a hold of you while you are somewhere in the country visiting your students. Isn't that really interesting? I mean, it will make sense to be talking to you while you're sitting in your office at the university.
Yeah, it's quite hectic, and I think today you caught me at the best time while my hands are dirty with WIL. So now what I'm gonna be sharing with you is something that is live. I'm not speaking from my imagination.
Yeah, yeah. Just to give our listeners and the viewers a taste of what it is, just share with us a little bit about the trip you are on now. I spoke to you yesterday, and you told me that you were traveling from one corner to another in the KwaZulu-Natal province. Just take us through as a way of just checking in what has been happening. Where did you start?
Maybe just a quick overview of my journey in this visits for Will before I can even mention who I am. For
Yeah,
this visitations, I began in Gauteng, then I went to Northern Cape, then I went to Free State, and then I find myself here. So you can see how hectic it is, quite hectic.
yeah. And the main objective is to visit your students at the places of work.
Yes, the main objective is to, I will mention, especially for the main two, is to go and assess how they are coping in the work environment. And then, secondly, to also check if what they are doing is in line with their curriculum, and also to also get some insight from the employees themselves in terms of feedback where our students are doing well and where they are showing some what can I say, some weaknesses, because I always say students are our mirrors, so they see students through us. So whatever weakness that students have, it means that we have not trained them so well.
Yeah, yeah. Is this the first visit of this particular cohort, or is it a repeat visit already? Or you go once only?
Okay, we have okay for this cohort, which is from June until January. Unfortunately, due to time, I only visit once. But if it was according to maybe my own wish, I'll be doing it twice, at the beginning and towards the end, if not somewhere in the middle. So because I'm
Mm,
not only doing a will, I also do teaching. I have to balance. So
yeah,
once I'm done with examinations and so forth, is where now I can say, okay, then go and see students. Usually I do it from end of October, but mostly is from the month of November throughout December.
wow, wow. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Tshenolo. Perhaps just greet the listeners and the viewers, tell them who you are and what brought you to VUT. Maybe starting also with where
Uh,
you grew up, which part of the country.
good, good evening, Sam. Once more, good evening to your listeners. Good evening to your team. I am Tshenolo Montsiemang, a lecturer at VUT, the Faculty of Human Sciences, in the Tourism Management Program. So I lecture different modules, but I'm also responsible for WIL, which I think is what we are here for. So WIL is where students are exposed to the work environment for a period of 6 months.
Mm, mm. For you as a lecturer, it's also expected of you that you don't just take it for granted. They will come with a spreadsheet and listed the activities. You need to see them live at their place of work. Is that other than that? What else we want to share with us as you visit the students?
Maybe before I do visits, let's start where it starts as to
Yeah.
how they do enroll for WIL, and then until the point which I do visit. Firstly, a student who should qualify should have passed all theory subjects. Therefore, from the first year through to your second year until half of the third year. So once they have passed now, we now give them a letter that permits them to do training for 6 months. Then they have to apply to companies which will give them offer letter, and then they will attach that with other requirements, and then I have to approve that so that a student can be registered. So by doing that, it helps me to know where each student is placed and if the mentor is suitable to take them through training. Because one other requirement is that the mentor should have at least the same qualification, if not higher than that of a student. Yes.
So a mentor is almost like your colleague in the industry who makes sure that what you expect the students to be exposed to indeed does happen. And you're saying that you also you take keen interest in checking whether they're better qualified. What are those qualifying criteria that you look at?
Okay, for a mentor in this case, there is a form that we call the form for registration, where it have to specify the company name, the physical address, the name of the mentor, and the qualification. In most cases, or unfortunately at times, where a mentor is not qualified, I always do my best to say, but who else can at least mentor a student whilst they are there doing training? No, because it is a requirement, very, very strict, that I don't want to expose a student to persons perhaps who are not in our industry or who have got no idea of what our industry is about, because we want to make that linkage between theory and practice. Is very important that somebody again who takes a student is also familiar with the tourism field, if not requirements.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this tourism topic or tourism management area. I mean, having just come out of the G20, I'm sure everybody is talking about the opportunities that are out there. For you, what can you tell the potential students around the opportunities that are there in the tourism industry from the South African perspective?
Yeah, very good one. Let's speak of events. That events form a major part of tourism, from sports event to cultural event and so forth. That is why I also believe that it's very important that the tourism content itself, if it was according to my liking, it should have the module events management throughout, from your first year to your second year until the third year. The reason being that we so much depend on events as a selling tool. You can think of what we did host in 2010 and its impact in tourism and other major events, some which are localized like your Makufe and so forth. But coming to the G20, I heard Minister Dilil saying that Gauteng alone, they project 1 billion. That is what we are going to harvest in tourism. So you can imagine that there were other meetings which were hosted across other provinces prior to Leaders Summit, which was hosted in Gauteng. So if the minister is saying that she estimates that tourism will rake 1 billion from that, let's say maybe a month. That event was for a month because people have to plan prior it happening coming. So now that positions tourism as very key or very important, that it cannot be ignored. So somebody who is thinking of really is tourism the right path that I should embark on? I will say definitely yes. It's diverse. Tourism is so diverse. We
Yeah,
sell almost
yeah.
everything.
I mean, some of us are exposed to tourism from just visiting places ourselves. And then, of course, we come across your students at the hotels. So that's where we also find students that are coming from the university. Let's really demarcate it into various areas, because maybe someone may not like working at the hotel and at the reception desk, welcoming guests. Some may not like being in the back rooms, or some of your students might also be found out there in the lodges. So I mean, from a career point of view, let's tell the students what else is there once they finish this degree. What jobs are there, and how do you really help make them visible through the WIL program? It sounds like it's not as simple as we think. There's more to it than just one sees on the surface. If you think of the G20 and what was happening, what were we not seeing in the background that has to do with tourism?
Thank you so much. Before I jump into the question of jobs, I'm going to speak of tourism entrepreneurship. I
Yeah.
think perhaps the world have to track, or our curriculum have to track a bit from preparing students for jobs. But we have to also say, how do we shape them to be entrepreneurs, which is very, very key. Because I always say people are in need of tourism every time, be it traveling, be it events, be it whichever thing which you can like. So I always say, when students go out to do internship, they should go out there to poach ideas. If one is placed at a guest house, I always say, poach ideas in terms of, if I had to take this home to my mother's house, how can I do it better? Not how can I do it in the same way. I always say, see how you can step up from where you have been placed. So I wanted to flash that one first of entrepreneurship, because it is what is bringing me. And I also wish
Are you
that
saying that
our
within your course? Are you saying that within your course you feel that you should infuse entrepreneurship? Is that as a module or just as a concept as you taking them through your courses?
yes, I was finding a way to come to the end, because I also have to put words smoothly, so that I don't
Yes.
drop it once somebody asks. Yeah, we have a module called management.
Yeah.
So it is just general. But at the end, at third year level, is where now we purely focus on entrepreneurship. But I am doing my best through the WIL report, which I have, that perhaps we have to now say, hence I spoke of another module, tourism or events planning, that I feel that it should be a module from first year throughout, same as tourism entrepreneurship, because perhaps that is why our country has got a very high number of youth without jobs, because we are preparing them to be employees. So we must, not we should, we must move away from that, so that we can infuse this element of entrepreneurship, into them, so that by the time they leave, or by the time they do graduate, they're already dreaming of entrepreneurship. That can also help deal with this issue of unemployment. I believe if most of our qualifications, especially in management, can have a strong element throughout from first year of entrepreneurship, then we will be able to combat this illness that we have of unemployment.
Are we not perhaps encouraging it by just sending students to go and see how the world of work in the tourism industry function, rather than say, let's find those institutions or industry partners that are prepared to make them focus just on how to run the tourism enterprise? Isn't that also requiring us also to change the checklist that you give them? Or is that going to be difficult in your view?
I'm going to guess what you were saying because the line was a bit scratchy, but I don't know if perhaps you mind
Let me repeat.
repeating something.
I'm saying that when we send the students to go and do the practice in the industry, are we not encouraging them to go there from the point of view of being workers rather than the point of view of wanting to become either workers or entrepreneurs? It is the checklist that you give them talking to issues of how these hotels or these facilities are being run so that they can also develop interest to want to run them.
Yeah, I think, Brother Sam, if we preach to them from the first year level, that you know what, this is how the world currently is. We have so many people who are qualified, okay, to be employees.
Yes.
However, we want you to have the same information or knowledge, but we want you to now venture into the path of entrepreneurship. So by you going out to the industry, we are saying to you, go and poach ideas of
Yes.
how you can do the same that is done. I want to give you a typical example of travel agencies. I have
Yes.
always said, students, I want you to start with your online travel agency from first year level. See how you can package travel and then sell it to STAs, for example, who are still new. They want to know the Joburg shopping malls. They want to know the Vaal Dam and what you can do at the Vaal Dam. So I always say, start while you still have time, because
Mhm.
when they are attached at travel agencies, for example, they just sit on their laptops and do the work. The same thing that they could have done from that first year level. So we have to see how we influence them
Yeah.
to take that path. Not only by teaching them the module, but let's give them practical ideas of how they can start, either as groups or as individuals.
Mm, mm. Wonderful. Do you, among some of your graduates that are already in the industry, do you have those who are running their own businesses in the tourism industry?
Yes, yes, Sam. I have, yeah, I have a couple. Maybe I also gave an example when I gave an example of a travel agency. I have one student who is running one, and they have got a very small office. I will call it a cubicle, but the amount of business that they have is quite good. That they are even brokering for MSc and so forth. So I have also invited them to be more like your guest lecturer in my module, so that they can
Yes.
be able to say, we are talking from reality. We were once sitting in the same chair that we were at, and this is how things are, or how things are in real
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes when you bring somebody whom they can relate to, it becomes easier for them to believe you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so interesting, Tshenolo, that the university is located in the Vaal, but I mean, listening to you, the places you have been going to visiting your students, you are truly national, and this is fascinating. I mean, as your students get sent to various parts of the country. What do they say are the challenges that they are facing when they have to go to places that they never ever heard of, and they find themselves there learning and having to cope? And I mean, Northern Cape, for somebody coming from Limpopo, coming to study at the Vaal and then find themselves in Northern Cape, and go to Northwest and KwaZulu-Natal. What are the pros and cons, and what do they say are the challenges that they have to deal with? Because we mustn't only give them the positive side. There are also negatives that they have to cope with. Am I right?
Yeah. I remember that whenever we do teach, me and my colleagues, we always say to them that tourism takes you to where people are, or tourism takes you to tourists. Therefore, you might find yourself working in Spain, and you have to. All you are doing is to adjust to customers' needs or customers' demands and so forth, because you are following them in a way. You are making available to them what they are looking for. So that helps students to adjust, especially when they now do will. At least they can have a feeling or have a touch or have an experience of what we are saying, that tourism takes you to tourists. So I have not found any of them complaining, and perhaps it's because most of this, some again, we have got a relationship with them that they are able to host students. Therefore, students stay within our facilities, especially those who are into game reserves and so forth. So that helps to make them somehow feel comfortable that at least we are home. Workplace is only a walk away.
Yeah. Have you ever
but
had
I think,
yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but I think it's very key that we continue to prepare them mentally during teaching, during the course, what they know what to expect. I think once the mind is set, the body will then follow.
Yeah. Have you ever had a situation where a student says, I loved this course and the lectures and everything, but the moment I had to be out there, I realized that this is not for me?
I have not had one. Maybe I should say I should thank technology. I want to believe that with the advance of technology, they are now able to go online and even know a place before going there. They are able to go onto YouTube, see clips of where they want to go and so forth. So by the time they go there already, they have been there virtually.
Yeah. And I guess they are responsible because they are the ones who actually apply for these opportunities, right?
Yeah. I can say 70% of them are the one they choose where they want to go. And at times we will say, students, we have this number of companies who want students.
Yeah, we are being challenged by the connection there. That was Mr. Tshenolo Montsiemang, is a WIL coordinator at the Vaal University of Technology from the Faculty of Human Sciences, in particular tourism management. We are just exchanging some insights in terms of the work integrated learning. He is currently on the road, and that's why we are having challenges with the network. So, but it's good because we can experience what he experiences in the process of supporting the students. Yeah, I was just updating the viewers that this is it. This is WIL. You are out there in the field, and you are not going to always have it smooth when it comes to connectivity. But I'm not perturbed by that. I'm actually happy that this is happening so that people can see what you put up with. You run the affairs of the office while you are visiting the students right there in the field of work. I take my hat off to people like yourselves at the university who have to do this, because firstly, you wanted to be a lecturer, and then secondly, you are told that, but you've also got to go and see your students in the field. That makes your portfolio quite very demanding. So what does it take for a person to really cope with the challenges of a role like this? Now I'm asking you to reflect on your own job of being a lecturer and a WIL coordinator.
Maybe let's focus on this one of the WIL coordinator, because it's what we are here for. I think the most important thing is passion to develop one, or passion to develop students. Remember that by us placing students in the industry, we want them to see that link between theory and practice, and it is very demanding. Like I have said, as soon as students enroll, you will start to have emails of them complaining that, no, I'm not happy where I am, this and that, and you have to respond to that. In most cases, I either visit or I ask assistance from my colleagues who in co-op to go and intervene, because I don't want to strain relationships. So we always do our best to react, on time to any form of complaint. So the most important thing, I think, is passion to develop students. That is why I say to you, as I'm speaking to you now, I'm very tired. I've been up from 6 a.m. Came all the way from Newcastle. I saw one student, then I passed to go to, I think it's called Ingobo. Ingobo is KZN. Then drive for your interview. Once I'm done with you, I should now jump into admin as to how many students I have seen as too far or up too far. The reports that I have from each.
Wow, that is quite very, very demanding indeed, and I do agree with him that passion perhaps is what we all need, and in this particular case, passion for the students and passion to want to visit them wherever they are, and address their needs. You are being challenged with the connection there, but that's fine. So passion, and I guess the commitment, as you have just indicated, because you need to write reports of your visits.
Let me continue where I was. So admin, that from all these visits, I have to give a report by the day end and say, this is what the industry is saying. This is what students are saying in terms of, and then we now have to see in terms of how can we now infuse that perhaps into our content or even curriculum. So it's not only that when you do visits, you just say hi, and you pass. Where there are issues, at times I take 2 hours just to be done with one student, because I have to navigate and to look for the honest truth between a student and the host, so that we can have a mutual agreement in terms of how we sort this. So passion is very, very key. The rest will then follow.
Yeah. And up to so far in the on the current trip, how has it been? Are you happy with what you are collecting there to inform your process?
Please come again, Sam.
I was saying that let's use this current trip now. You have been to quite a number of places now. Are you happy with what you are seeing?
My line is disappointing me, but just repeat the last line. Am I able to?
Are you happy with what you are hearing as you visit your students now, currently?
Not that I cannot hear you, but the line is just breaking. Please advise if you can hear me.
No, I can hear you very well, but yeah, it is quite a challenge. I wanted him to reflect on the current trip that he's on, which is the last trip of the year. And I guess is collecting feedback and making reports, which is part of ending the term of the current cohort. We are talking to Mr. Tshenolo Montsiemang from VUT. He's telling us he's on the last leg of his visit to students, which is the requirement of the WIL program that Vaal University of Technology is running, and is also meant for him to complete the reports that help them to close the particular cohort and the particular term. I have wanted him to share with us on what it takes to be a very good coordinator of a WIL program. And in many cases, they are also at the same time lecturers, but he wanted to focus just on the WIL side. But anyone who wants to be involved in this kind of work, there are certain requirements that one must meet. And one of those is obviously being comfortable with administration, and then, of course, have passion to be involved with the students as they are navigating the world of work. Yes, it's quite a challenge, Tshenolo. I guess we are not going to be able to do justice to it because it keeps on breaking. I still have a couple of finish what you were talking on. I wanted to talk about what you really measure. That's why I was asking if you are happy with what you are hearing. What do you measure for yourself in this role of being a WIL coordinator?
Okay. The most obvious one is how many students have I placed per cycle. I always say I want to place all of them. So at least this time, I think I reached 98% at target to place, which is quite good for me. But thereafter now, I say I want to see all of them completing their practicals, and it demands so much from me in terms of support. When they have got issues, I have to respond to immediately. When the host have got issues, the same thing should happen. So now that continuous support is very important. And then when I do this is very important that I should form relationships with the industry so that they continue this partnership that we have. But most importantly, is also for me to get insight from them as they are on the ground. So they assist me to know the current trends or the current needs that perhaps we have to infuse in our curriculum. So that is what I always aim for, or I always look up to as achievement. Students' placement, them being able to complete it successfully, and then the relationship with industry is very important that we have that.
Yeah. And I guess once they are done with their WIL, they graduate, and then of course then you start checking which of them are going back to these companies and work there. I guess that will be the ideal scenario, right?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I know we have been challenged by the connectivity. You and I may have to repeat this early in the new year when you plan for the new year, so that we can really
I fully agree. I fully agree with you. I think it will be injustice for us to say we have achieved what we wanted to. It's just partial achievement.
Yeah, I will speak to the colleagues in the co-op department that we have just planted the seed, but maybe we'll start the year with you, and because I want to agree that everybody sees the potential of tourism. I think listening to the ministers talking about it, I think we need to encourage people to explore it, because everybody's talking about South Africa all over the world. So the industry is bound to grow.
Yes, we are indeed. We are now spending. You know what? Tourism is funny in a sense that at times bad is good. What Trump did to us a couple of months ago, saying that there is genocide happening, it triggered interest in most Americans to travel here to come and confirm.
So, yeah. So it was like indirect marketing in a way.
Yeah, true. So tourism works in a very weird way. That is why it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I always say people have money that they want to spend. That is why if you can look at our townships currently, drinking places are mushrooming every time because people want to do something. Then it is a chance for us as tourism people to see that what can we now make available for these people who have money and they want to spend it on leisure. How can we now create leisure tourism for them? If we can look at our townships, for example, we have plenty of land which is used for dumping. How can we now think of converting that to some eco tourism initiatives and so forth, to have parks, to have more like your bird watching, if you like, whatever. We have to be creative and say, how do we now draw these people with money which they are spending, if not wasting on alcohol, for them to spend in tourism?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I see the time is gone. I'm really wanting us to revisit this topic and also get to know you much better, because it's been a challenge. I was telling that Mhlala earlier on that, this is a tough one, because Tshenolo is on the road visiting students, and it's good in a way, but at the same time it's a challenge, because he needs to get a place somewhere, sit down and talk to us, but we don't even know where it's going to be. I'm glad we could just start the discussion and we introduce this discussion, but absolutely, we're going to start the year with you. We will revisit all these topics, and we will hopefully by that time you also have almost a year feedback report that you can use to share with us what is happening out there. How is that?
And perhaps we can co-attend. Me and Mr. Mthala is giving me very good support. So I feel that it would be justice if you can have us both on this platform on that day. Really, that is what I am going to propose.
That will be a good idea. That's a good idea. I will definitely talk to him as well. So I think we can end it here. Thank you for your time. I hope your travels go well. Take some few hours break and then enjoy the evening. We shall talk. Let's leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. That was our colleague Montsiemang from Vaal University of Technology. Unfortunately, it has not been easy because of the connectivity. We will revisit this early in the new year in February. As you are well aware, that our show takes place on the last Wednesday of every month from February to November. So this was the last one. So we'll see you early in February next year, and we are agreeing that we'll bring him back with Mr. Mhlala to revisit the WIL program in the tourism industry. The timing is perfect for us. We would like to do that. My name is Montsiemang. This was the Commercial Television Network, our video streaming platform. This show is held in partnership with Vaal University of Technology. It's a monthly show, and we are trying to support the colleagues that are working in the WIL program, and of course, share information with those potential students that would like to do their WIL program in the tourism management. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much, Tshenolo. Stay in the studio as I disconnect with the viewers. Don't go away.
Thank you, and good evening, viewers. Thank you.